was important, and it was time to talk with the president of Alberta Soccer. He joins us right now, Shaun Hammond. Shaun, welcome.
Thank you, Tony.
Appreciate having you on, and we're really glad to have you on because it's time to talk some grassroots in Alberta soccer. Let me ask you this, Shaun. In the next coming months and coming years, what is the biggest challenge that faces your province? You tell us.
Well, we've got a very good base in the minor soccer area, the Minor Soccer Association, and they've done a great job of attracting and retaining players. The key for us is to implement a longer-term developmental strategy all the way up to the elite level. So at this point, we're working on a long-term strategy or medium-term strategy to put in place those competitions and those challenges for the players that really want to move forward.
Shaun, is there challenges with fields, domes in the winter? Is there challenges with the high costs of insurance? Is there challenges with cities getting involved for the good of the game and helping clubs and academies?
I think that's always going to be a challenge. The issue around infrastructure and where we can play, and especially with a shorter outdoor season and essentially a long indoor season. What's happened is that over time we have developed a number of facilities that cater to the indoor game, the small-sided mini soccer type game. And what that's done is enabled the players to play year-round. And in fact, during the winter, what we're finding is that because it's small-sided, they're playing 6v6, 7v7, 8v8 futsal, is that the nature of their play is shifting. They're getting more into the short passing game as opposed to just the long ball. So it's having a benefit of keeping the kids engaged year-round. But you're absolutely right. The demand for good indoor winter-type facilities is there. And that's going to be a struggle for us to keep up. It's not just the cities, but it's also the various associations that have to come together and work together on solving this problem. It is an issue, and certainly in the two centres, Edmonton and Calgary, where our facilities do tend to, I think, get to maximum capacity in the winter as more and more kids and more players want to keep playing year-round.
Right, but my issue with that is this, Shaun, quite simply, mums and dads out there fork over their hard-earned money to put their kids in outdoor leagues, indoor leagues. They're taxpayers. And unfortunately, I hear this all across Canada, that they're not given the respect in their cities and in their towns. But when it comes to hockey, boy, oh boy, parents say a word or two on maybe a little bit of renovation that's needed at their local hockey rink or what have you. Counselors, mayors, people jump up. But the ones that love the game that you and I love are basically told to be quiet, stay in the corner, you're just a summer sport, and don't worry about that.
Well, I think that you're absolutely right. We need to get the exposure at that level. There are community development grants that come through the province that could be accessed, but again, it's getting soccer as a major draw for these kids and keeping them active. So really and truly, it's up to us as the associations and with our districts is to keep the pressure on the communities to in fact look at these multi-use facilities and in fact make sure that we've got the soccer, the indoor soccer, the sheltered facilities for these kids to play year-round.
Shaun Hammond, president of Alberta Soccer Association, joins us. Shaun, where are you with a high-performance league in Alberta? And why is it taking so long to get something off the ground there? We see other provinces in Canada with their own high-performance league, but Alberta has nothing to show for. How come?
Well, it's really a matter of making sure that, the foundation components, the foundation bits are in place. We need to build essentially a community that's geared towards the high-performance league. And when I say that, we have to build the trust between the recreational and I guess you could say the higher levels at the recreational or the youth soccer, moving into the elite level and then the high-performance league. We've been sort of going around this problem. I think at this stage what we need to do is really get the stakeholders, all of them in the room, all of them together, looking at this and finding a way that we can, first of all, communicate the need and communicate the real need for us in Alberta to have something at that next level up. Second component is going to be, we really need the cooperation from all of the various clubs and the minor soccer associations to take a look at this and essentially cooperate and come together in a collaborative way to put in place a framework for a high-performance league. Obviously, there's concerns with respect to recruitment and whether or not we actually have a sufficient, I guess you could say, population of elite-level players that can, in fact, support that league. I think we're making progress. I'm not going to guarantee that we'll have it in the next short while, but we're absolutely working towards having a high-performance or an elite-level soccer program in the province, so that all of our kids can move from the grassroots all the way through to the full elite club level soccer.
You know, Shaun, watching from afar here in Ontario, I look at FC Edmonton in the pro component, and then I look at the Foothills Club in Calgary there in PDL and in the high performance area. I think they've done outstanding. I'm sure there's other clubs that I'm not mentioning, but these are the two that stick out to me, that have produced, that have developed, that have really set the path for others to follow. Are you there, Shaun?
Yeah, I just lost you for a moment.
Yeah, I was saying, watching from afar here, FC Edmonton, the pro squad, and the Foothills Club in Calgary and PDL, I've really set the standard in the high performance area and really set the path for others to follow. I might be missing some out in Alberta. I apologize. But my thoughts are these two clubs have done outstanding work. Shaun, do we have you?
Yeah, I'm still here. Okay, if I can just address that quickly. We have a great relationship with FC Edmonton. They are, in fact, helping us and working with us towards the development of that next layer. Certainly, we've worked with Whitecaps down south. Foothills are an absolute, I guess you could say, a shining example of where we need to go next. What we need to do is to figure out how we put this all together such that there's a continuum and that there's no pressure on the minor leagues in terms of losing talent, and how do we build that pathway such that the players can actually move through the minor league soccer into the elite level and onto the high performance.
Shaun, quality players have been coming out of Alberta for the last number of years, but more recently, you're starting to see a lot of quality come out of Edmonton, Calgary, and some of the other small cities and towns. What do you attribute that to?
Well, I'm going to suggest to you that it really starts off with a good ground level, the coaching staff and the coaches that are working at the grassroots level to introduce the kids. We've got some support programs through the Soccer Association for grassroots development, and then we're really focused on coach development and then providing the opportunities for these coaches to work with their kids and improve the quality. And like I said, they get to play in a whole series in different scenarios, but they're really focused around the short passing game and really working in the small, making quick, good decisions with respect to what they do with the ball, where they go, and so on. So I have to absolutely credit the minor soccer associations, the club soccer coaches for doing a great job of developing the players into the with new skills, with the modern skills. What we've done with the Soccer Association is basically provide the technical support through our technical group that's got a lot of coaches that are moving around the province, helping and certifying these coaches, working with them, giving them the latest they can, the latest techniques and drills and so on. So we've really focused on player development, coach development in the province over the last couple of years.
Shaun, as the president of Alberta Soccer, how important is it to you and to all the province that there's harmony with all your members, that they're all believing in the same goal, that they're all on the same page for the good of the game, for the kids, and not for their own egos or their own agendas.
This is a critically important factor, from my perspective and where I'm coming from, I want to build that trust and the respect not only between players on the field, but all the way up through the districts, but trust and respect between the districts to get them to really work together on this thing. Equally, it's important for us to work with our neighboring jurisdictions, our partner jurisdictions, and with CSA. So absolutely, it is important that there's a good system, and in that system we need to make sure that those links between the associations, between the various levels are there, that they're built on trust, respect, and essentially that's the way we're going to make progress in this, certainly in Alberta as we move forward.
Shaun, let me ask you this. Do you and your board listen, most importantly, but also act on important issues your members have expressed to you and your board and raised to you and your board in a timely manner?
One of my commitments to the membership that I would listen more and tell less. And what my philosophy is that we're here to, I think this came out of a referee course I once attended, we're there to assist, not insist. And where we have an issue, we'll work on it, we'll get to address it as quickly as we can. We've got a board that is decisive. It will make a decision, it's not going to sit on it, and we're going to make sure that we address the issues as quickly and as effectively as we can, respecting the views of everybody, listening to what their concerns are and addressing them as we go forward.
Lastly, Shaun, I really appreciate your time. Before we let you go, let's talk a little bit about the pro game in your province. Not too long ago, we heard the CSA talk about the Canadian Premier League and its birth. And we're hearing a lot of rumors that Alberta will play a big part, whether it's Calgary and Edmonton or both, but one or both of those cities in your province will play part in the Canadian Premier League. Talk about how important it is for your province, for this country, to be part of CPL.
There's no question that, from my personal perspective, I see the CPL as an absolute critical step forward in the development of the game across this country. So the ASA and our board has supported the CPL, and we really look forward to a successful league program developing over time. Our view is that the CPL offers another step in the developmental ladder for our future stars, and as you say, we've been growing them at an ever-increasing pace thanks to the basic programs we've got in place. So, like I said before, we benefited from having the Whitecaps, FC Edmonton, and other clubs with their academies and their presence in Alberta, and we look forward to it, hopefully, 2 CPL teams in Edmonton and Calgary, and honestly, we wish them every success, because if they're successful, we'll be successful.
Well, as I close it out, Shaun, I wish you success, and I thank you because you are a volunteer and you don't get paid not a penny. And I thank you because we need volunteers like you to do the work you're doing, giving time away from you, your family, and your work life. So again, thank you for doing this, and continued success in the province of Alberta.
Thank you, Anthony. I really appreciate that. You take care.
That is Shaun Hammond. He is the president of Alberta Soccer. We're going to another province right next door, Saskatchewan. We're going to talk about what a great weekend it was. Friday and Saturday, Valencia taking on the New York Cosmos, and then CPL talk next right here on Red Card. Stay tuned.
Please say, I really try to